What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? Trying to make friends. Being social as an adult is rough, especially when your friends start moving away or having kids. Yeah, my social circle completely disbanded. We were a tight-knit few, but then one moved overseas to be with the love of his life and the other two moved interstate in opposite directions, and being the introvert that I am, I don't find socializing with strangers an enjoyable experience or an easy way to make new friends. This hits hard and is 1000% relatable. I bet you also get the forever helpful just put yourself out there comments from the people who don't understand what it is like to be an introvert. In my mind, my mama should be about 40. She has always seemed to be so strong, but sometimes I want to fall apart when I see her take several attempts to stand up or make excuses about driving on the interstate. She will be 70 soon, but to me she is still young. I don't know what I'll ever do without her. I lost my mom 8 weeks ago. It's hard living without a parent. She was only 60, but I always thought of her as 42. She died before I had the chance to talk with her one last time. It was very unexpected. Give your mama a hug and tell her you'll drive her down the interstate to get her where she needs to go. You have to buy insurance but can never use the insurance, or else no one will sell you insurance. Coming into adulthood and learning about insurance in America, it all just feels like a big scam. It all just feels like a big scam. I'd imagine because in America, it is. Using insurance too. I've been fighting for the last 3 months because my homeowners refuses to acknowledge storm damage to my roof. I swear they've spent more trying not to cover the damage than if they would have just fixed things. Advice to other homeowners out there: never let an insurance adjuster look at your roof before a qualified roofer has. And make sure that roofer is present when the adjuster comes. If their adjuster misses things, they will fight like hell before admitting a mistake. Having to institute a complete body hair management program. Ears, eyebrows, nose, chest, balls, behind, then losing it the only place I want it, my head. For the first time ever, a few months ago my barber said, "Mate, you want me to do something about these eyebrows?" Same. About a year ago. It feels like being offered a breath mint. Falling in love at an older age but watching life speed by so fast. Wished I'd met her 30 years ago. All the choices you made led you to that love though. You could say the same about my hernia. So love does come in all shapes and sizes then. The lack of time for myself. Life is all work, housework, yard work, childcare, bills, emails, phone calls. What's funny is that I have so much more free time now as an adult, single with no kids, that I know of, and it still doesn't feel like enough. No homework, no silly adult projects, renovating bathrooms, etc. No extracurriculars that take up a load of time. And yet every night once I'm done eating dinner, it's like, damn it, I have to go to bed in a few hours. When I was pregnant with my first child, I heard on the radio that the average mother had an hour of free time each day. I didn't believe it. How could anyone only have 1 hour a day? 7 years and 3 kids later. Yep, lucky to get an hour a day to watch TV. And that's often combined with folding laundry and stuff like that. So it's barely even free time. People rely on you. Both your parents and your kids. You become the filling in a responsibility sandwich, and the weight of it is crushing at times. Drifting away from school friends because moving away, but then struggling to make new friends in a new city. I have a friend from high school that I really do love to hang and talk with still. When I moved to college 2 hours away, we barely saw each other. When I graduated and moved only 40 minutes away, I swore I would visit more often, but I also then had a job that ate up my time. I ended up seeing her even less now despite living closer. It's so frustrating. Keeping everything balanced in your 20s is so damn hard. No one telling you to stop procrastinating. Many Redditors mention the 5-minute rule to fight procrastination. Basically, if something takes 5 minutes or less to complete, just do it. It creates momentum and it might encourage you to complete tasks that require more time. Preparing for retirement. Of course everyone knows they will stop working at some point, but now that I'm 40, it feels like I really need to get it together. Am I going to continue bad habits that negatively impact my health, or will I finally make changes to be healthier later? My new favorite worry. Will I really have enough money to retire and live comfortably enough to have a good quality life? 10 years ago this all seemed so far away. Now, it feels like I'm speeding to the next phase of my life. I'll be working up until noon on the day of my funeral. Pain. Arthritis is fucking horrible, and early onset autoimmune arthritis is worse than just having an ache in one or two joints. I hurt all the time, everywhere, and everyone just believes you're faking it or you're a pill popper. I am not going to live another 20 years with this pain like my dad did. And the worst part is when people say you're too young to have arthritis. Yeah, I agree. I'm way too young to have this shit. Still got it though. I don't have arthritis, but I do have other issues that I end up having to use a cane for sometimes at 28 years old, and I get the "you're too young for that" a lot. It drives me up a wall. Like, thanks, you've cured me. I hadn't considered I may be too young for this. If only I'd known it was that easy. I get "you're too young for that" all the time. I have cancer. Cliques and bullies are just as bad in the office as they were in school. As you got older, isn't it easier to call them out? I have no problem with throwing a bully's behavior in their face and watching them try to justify being a d-head. Next time someone says something mean to you, just try it. It's amazing to see a 40-year-old man look completely lost when you ask him why he thinks only poor people eat flatbread and hummus. Like, WTF Greg, it tastes good. It's not my fault your fat behind doesn't understand why everyone isn't drinking Mountain Dew and eating Snickers. Fucking bipedal elephant. Oh, trust me, I do that. In my last job, the bully was my boss, and things kept escalating between us until she fabricated some incidents on my review to build a case for firing me for performance reasons. I found a new job almost immediately, before she could fire me, and made a detailed report to HR. She also harassed me for a medical condition I have, and basically the entire team went to HR on my behalf to validate my story. The company has done nothing and she is still terrorizing the team. The fact is, if bullying is built into the culture of a company, the bullies will always win, no matter how much you call them out. When you're not in school surrounded by your peers, meeting new people and making friends is much harder and in many cases almost impossible, and dating is a whole other ballgame. Then again, for a lot of us that isn't too different from how high school was anyway. I've found it easier to make friends at work than at school. At work everyone I'm around is more or less like-minded and we have at least one thing in common. In school I was made so miserable by the system that I really didn't connect with anyone. Dealing with your parents acting like children. You would think after you move out of your parents' garage that you would not have to deal with their attitude, but guess what, you still have to hear them complain. My parents have always acted like children. However, as a child I was blind to this. Now as an adult I realize how immature and lost my parents actually are. I realized my mom, I am an only child, was just a big kid herself 20 years ago. What shocks me is that almost everyone's parents become younger when they don't have kids to raise. This includes myself. I've got the book for you. Running on Empty by Jonas Webb. Overcome Your Childhood Emotional Neglect. I was in no way prepared for the fact that one dark horrific day I would sit on my own balls, which is definitely something someone should have mentioned. It left me feeling different somehow. Realizing that not even your parents have all the answers, and finally understanding that they were just figuring it out as they went, just like we are. Not having an all-knowing figure to give you the answers to all your problems is the pits and I hate it. Edit. Just wanted to add that I agree figuring stuff out for yourself is rewarding and fun, but some things you really don't want to figure out for yourself, or can't figure out, and for those things it's nice to have someone to point you in the right direction. Aging Parents. I love that show, but it didn't broadcast as much as I wanted to watch it for. Time does go by really fast for me now too. My parents are older than most parents with kids my age, so I have to experience everything sooner than many people in my age. So nobody to talk about such things. The people who understand me are people older than me by 10+ years. My mom had me at 36 when most people were still having kids in their early 20s. I feel you. My mom had me at 45. My dad was 50. My mom passed away in 2014 and my 84-year-old father is a constant worry. I shouldn't be dealing with this in my 30s. The snowball effect of poverty. Every major bill or unexpected emergency, $500 plus, takes you back 6 months to a year. It feels like you're on an escalator made of mud. Having a presentable place, and debating myself on why it matters. It always frustrated me when my parents had a guest over and we had to deep clean the whole house. Like if it's my close friend of 8 years visiting. Why do I care what they care about my cleanliness? And yet, every time people are over I find myself cleaning the apartment up for some reason. First thing you say is excuse the mess. Going from having tons of friends to really having no one. Even the few you have, if they get married and start popping out kids before you. I was a groomsman at my buddy's wedding and haven't seen him face to face in 2 years. First kid, back to college for his master's degree. House renovations have all kept him on lockdown, and now quarantine right when he finished his degree. Man, you really have to work at friendships in adulthood. I've got 3 proper friends left from school. 2 of them. My girlfriend is really friendly with their wives so we meet up with all of us. The third dude, excluding his stag do and wedding, I've only seen him 3 times in the last 3 years. Thankfully we met up just before lockdown started. The best friends in life you cannot see for ages but when you meet up it's like you only just saw them the week before. Getting the spending under control has easily been one of the hardest things I've done after buying what I want with no problem for over 4 years. God, it's the worst. Gross pay versus net pay, holy shit. Also, still haven't gotten my first stimulus check. It's entirely possible to lose your job through no fault of your own. This. Having lost a job I was very passionate and proud of and excelled in very quickly with great promise of bigger and better things, and then boom. Laid off. All accomplishments suddenly mean nothing. Having others rely on you as an emotional ballast. I can barely stay sane myself, let alone carry someone else. When I was young, death seemed very romantic. The idea of everyone being so sad about you being gone and regretting every wrong against you. Now I have way too many responsibilities to die. I have seen how loss really affects the people I love and would never want to subject them to that. Oh. Especially when they just do not make an effort to emotionally regulate themselves at all. If every single thing is a crisis 24/7, what could you possibly want me to do about it? How expensive lamps are. And dining room tables. And kids. And the things kids break. How fucking dark life actually is. Like, is this all we do? Just grind away at jobs we try to care about, but no one else cares about. Barely able to afford our bills, houses, debts. Constantly struggling with relationships and trauma and watching our political system fail us. Our country fail us. Our systems fail us. Like, this life is not what happy adolescent me dreamed it would be. Sorry to get real dark on y'all. There's something so comforting to me about knowing that there are other people that feel this way. I think a side effect of coming to terms with this truth is that it's an isolating feeling. It really helps to know that we're not alone in feeling that we're toiling in mediocrity. Not being able to sleep due to stress. Yet here I lay, exhausted but wide awake. When I was younger I could sleep anytime, anywhere. Not too long ago I was waking up at 2 AM and just laying there for 2 hours tossing and turning thinking about all the world's problems. So I decided to outsmart my own brain. When that happened I vowed to get out of bed and go run. Which I know from experience I hate doing. So my brain learned that if I was going to wake up at 2 o'clock it was going to have to go running. And eventually, not wanting to do that, I quit waking up at 2 AM. Turns out, you get fat from overeating. Scott gained the power of self-respect. How quickly fruits and vegetables actually go bad when you buy them yourself. And you buy them thinking you're going to eat them. Because they're good for you and you know that. Because you're an adult. but there's always something else to eat and no one is making you eat your vegetables. Look up the cartoon panel. Crisper drawers, where good intentions go to die. Crippling loneliness and romantic rejections. My heart is just dead, and now I feel empty inside. Being able to not cook the same meal every day while balancing hundreds of other tasks. I will always admire my mom for how she was able to cook, have a clean house, work 43 hours and help her children do homework, all while taking time to work out at the end of every day. I could mention other common problems like money management and common tasks that I haven't mastered, but what really hit me like a train was the actual transition of adulthood. I'm talking about having to make my own appointments and having to keep tabs on myself instead of handing every single document to my mom. I realized how unorganized I was when I found my birth certificate in the same drawer where I have junk receipts. I realized how unorganized I was when I found my birth certificate in the same drawer where I have junk receipts. Hi, I'd like to return this child. Yes, I know he is 30 years past the return date. Can I speak to the manager? I knew things would be much more expensive when I was a kid, but I thought that things like jobs, kids, a house and a car would just happen when you grew up. Also things like knowing all that is needed to know about everything adult like. However, the worst parts of growing up that I did not know about was 1. Even if you are pulling the most weight at your work, nobody will thank you for it, pat your shoulder, etc. And that even the laziest and most stupid employees will get raises and stuff just because there are friends/children to the bosses. 2. It is nearly impossible to keep up with even your best friends. I have not seen one of my closest friends over a year now, even if we live near each other, and to make new friends is very hard or almost impossible, since you are considered a creep/stalker if you ever talks to strangers. 3. Mostly that time flies so fast it is scary. It feels like I was just around 18 to 19. I'm soon 30 and my mom and dad's hair is white and grey. God damn, we have fought many times, but I'm not prepared to lose them already.